Peer kind of is different from these two protocols in that they want to handle the entire social experience from end to end, right? They don't want to just create the base layer and they don't want to just create the dApps. They want to create the base layer and then kind of uh, not, not, they don't control it, but they want to create it and ensure that the entire ecosystem is kind of connected end to end and it's a very seamless experience. So Peer, what they're kind of doing differently is if you look at your news feed right now on Instagram, it's only kind of curated by time, right? Like, so you're seeing in a way the newest or the most featured posts for you earliest, and then as you go down you see posts that were posted a little before in time. So your only kind of vector to go through an entire news feed is time. What Peer is doing differently is that they want you to be able to browse your social media experience by time and space. And what does that mean exactly is that, of course, like in a general normal social media app, you will be able to see posts in a chronological order, but you'd also be able to flip through content that is closer and further away from your interests, which is kind of crazy, right? Because the current problem in news feeds is you're just completely siloed in the data into like the posts and stuff that you always see on a regular basis. So every time I open Instagram, I don't know what I'm going to see, but I know in general the themes I will see, and it'll be about maybe football, it'll be about crypto, it'll be news, it'll be memes, it'll be very general stuff, and most of us are seeing the same stuff, and you share the same stuff with the people and everyone kind of ends up in this hole, and people are segregated from each other, and social media is just accentuating that segregation. What Peer is doing is that they're making it very easy for you to browse between, like, further and closer to your interests. So the further you swipe, the further away you're going from your traditional social graph in a way. And this interaction or this fundamental change that they've made, they kind of want to incorporate that into their entire roadmap. So, what exactly is their roadmap? They don't want to just create a social media app, they want to create a social media experience. And that experience would translate to the metaverse, or when AR and VR become mainstream. And they're trying to picture what social media interactions would be like in a 3D world, right? In a 3D world, you have much more room to kind of play with and create a completely new design, right? It doesn't just have to be one continuous feed. It can be a kind of a 3D feed where you can interact with stuff that's close to your interest and further away from your interest, and kind of ensures that you never get siloed in this one place, and ensures that you have access to a breadth of different types of topics that you might not agree with, but at least it kind of expands your your thought process, your opinions. It ensures that people don't just start seeing the same stuff and get segregated from other people who are seeing different stuff. It ensures the openness of social networking, and kind of ensures that people will get to see an entire breadth of different stuff, and it's completely up to them if they want to, right? You can just keep swiping chronologically through your most favored interests, but you also have the choice to not do that, which you don't get with a traditional social media app. So that's one part, and that will translate to the entire roadmap. Because so first they want to obviously release a social media app that's slated for later this year. Then they want to create a like a marketplace where people can buy and sell, and it can be anything. It can be actual goods. It can be user data. It can be something a creator has created. It can be an NFT. It can be all these types of different things, and they want to kind of take that whole NFT and experience that crypto created onto a social networking site, which has kind of not been done before. Because right now there are only NFT marketplaces, but there aren't NFTs integrated into a social media or social networking site, which would be a very different way to discover and sell NFTs if there's someone on the other side kind of showing those different things to you. Then they want to create hardware itself. They want to create AR goggles and VR goggles, and these hardware products would also be designed in such a way where the experience you're seeing on your smartphone currently on the Peer app will translate to a 3D experience in VR and AR, where again time and space kind of become vectors, and you can explore in this 3D environment interests that are close and further away, from your core interests, which is really cool. And they kind of want to make an end-to-end hardware and software company to create a very wholesome social media experience, which I think is completely different from what anyone's done, in the 2010s. It's kind of seems like the perfect business model or whatever for the 2020s, and kind of integrating all these futuristic technologies into one social networking experience, which is pretty crazy.